Okay.
Hi, we're here today making muffins with the lovely Miss Addie. She's going to be our helper today. The great thing about muffins is that it helps us learn a couple of the basics of cooking from scratch and baking, but it's easy to modify them however you want. You can add anything to these. It can be fresh fruit. We're going to do chocolate chips today and bananas. You can add apples and cinnamon to them. Just have fun with them. Do whatever you want and use whatever you have on hand at home. So we have 2 mixing bowls. You need 2 of them for this recipe because it makes a lot of muffins, and we're going to do 1 chocolate chip mix and 1 banana mix. We have our measuring spoons, our measuring cup that Addie's making a lovely mess with, all of our ingredients, and then a couple options to use for baking them. So let's go ahead and start. Our recipe is back here. We're going to use 4 cups of flour, which I already measured out into our large bowl. And we're going to do 2 cups of sugar.
Okay.
Can you help me, Miss Addie? We need the big cup.
Oh, the big one?
That's not
The big cup.
Oh.
Go ahead and hold that over there and I'll pour it. Woo! There you go.
Okay, we're gonna...
Right in here. This is where we're going to put our dry ingredients. 1 more cup.
Whoops.
Alright, 2. Perfect. And we need a teaspoon of baking powder. This is right here.
Okay, can
We're going to scoop it and then level it off like we did with the tortillas.
One of those.
I... Mommy, did you just put in a tree?
Yes. Now we're going to do a teaspoon of baking soda. Same thing. And a teaspoon of salt.
I'm going to punch out those things.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Then mixing it up.
I've actually taken leftover bacon and chopped it up and put it in muffins and cheddar cheese. That's a really good mix.
I'm mixing this up.
Okay, Addie's going to stir that around for us, and then we're going to work on our wet ingredients that we're going to
Yeah.
mix all together in this bowl. We're going to start with
Dry and wet.
Start with
dry
your,
and wet.
This is the wet one, and this is the dry. So,
start with your eggs, yeah.
We'll start with 2 eggs. These are from our farmer's market again.
1.
2.
Thank you. A fork out of nowhere. We're going to go ahead and whisk these just a little bit.
And put some of this flour in.
Yeah.
Not yet.
3/4 cup oil.
And then mix it all around that one too.
And then 1.5 cups of milk, which I need to grab.
And then sometimes it needs a little bit more if it's a little dry. You can just always add a little more milk if you need to.
Go ahead and mix that all together really well.
Yep. Mix that up.
And then we are going to change to a rubber spatula. Here, Miss Addie, I'm going to switch you out. You can start with that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add this in. And start stirring a little bit. Real gently.
There you go. Muffins are considered a quick bread, which means it's quick to mix up and quick to bake. And it doesn't have yeast in it, so it's a baking powder, baking soda will make it rise.
A recipe on Pinterest or online. Actually, you guys can do that. And try it out. It's a lot of fun. It's really hard to mess up, believe it or not, if you just follow the directions. So this is a little bit easier. Lisa's right. It is a quick bread. Okay, Mama's turn. Thank you. So make sure you scrape the sides really well. Get all of that flour into your mix.
There we go. Oh, that's a great texture. Not too thin, not too thick. That's great.
Can I put some?
Not yet. It has raw eggs in it.
She wants to eat the dough.
right, so now we're gonna actually divide up our dough. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you 2 different ways of doing it today.
Can I feel it?
No, it's not like bread dough. Batter. So, yeah, about half. Doesn't have to be particular or exact.
Whichever one you like better, you can make more of.
That's true.
If it's banana or chocolate chip.
You can stir it a little bit.
Of course, blueberries are good in there too.
Yeah, we've been talking about farmer's market and utilizing your farmer's market, or not only that, but using things that are in season, especially during the spring, summer, and fall. Things that are growing right now are usually cheaper and they're better quality. So if you go to your grocery store, you can get beautiful blueberries and strawberries, even raspberries right now, any kind of fruit. Chocolate chips, I think everybody has a bag of chocolate chips in the pantry, so that's easy. But yeah, use what you have or what sounds good to you. So I think I'm going to put about a half a cup
Yeah.
of chocolate chips in here. Yes, can you help pour those in there? Hold on.
You could put cranberries around Christmas time when cranberries start coming in, and pecans,
There you go.
a little bit of orange zest or juice. Some people like banana chocolate chip, but we're going to do them separate today.
Go ahead and mix that in. So Addie is going to mix in the chocolate chips for us. And I'm going to
So
go
get
ahead.
some milk up.
So it's all mixed up.
And milk it.
It'll melt in the oven. Now, if you're going to do bananas, these are not very ripe. I just bought these yesterday. So I'm just going to cut them up with, this is called a paring knife. If they're really ripe, you can go ahead and mash them up with a fork and mix it in. So yeah, ripe ones are going to be a lot softer. That'll be a lot easier. But how I like to cut our bananas is I go ahead and peel it. Make sure you have a good firm hold on your paring knife. I like to cut it down the center so that it's smaller, and then cut towards your thumb. Be very careful. You don't need to
Cut into your
cut
thumb.
into your thumb.
Right.
Exactly. Just use it as a stopping point,
Yeah.
basically. And bananas are easy. You can do it very gently. Actually, now that they're getting bigger, I'm going to cut it the other way.
There you go. Yeah, so you have 4 little pieces.
And I might do about half a banana in here. What do you guys think?
Maybe a little bit more. You don't like bananas very much.
I don't.
We do.
Everybody else in my family does. So
You could throw some nuts in there if you wanted to. We're just going to make them plain.
candy jars, and I went ahead and put them in the oven. I put them on a little cookie tin so that they stay flat and don't fall in between these little racks or anything. Those are probably going to take about 20 or 25 minutes, possibly a half hour. I'll let you know at the end of the video how long these take. And a good way of seeing how done they are is to look inside the glass. It'll get brown around the jar, and you can also stick a toothpick down in the middle, and if it comes out clean, they're done. If it comes out with some dough or batter on it, give them another few more minutes. So here we go. We're going to do our muffin tin that Addie greased up beautifully for us. We're going to use our cookie scoop, and I'm going to do about
Like
a
2
scoop and a half.
There you go.
Yeah. So can you see that's just about in between 2/3 and 3/4 of the way full. We don't want them too full because then they'll just spill over and go everywhere, but you want it full enough so that you have a muffin to eat.
Peek in the oven. I'll let you see how things are going. It's been about 20 minutes on the little breads in the jar and about 15 minutes on the muffins. They're just about ready. But not the bread ones
They
yet.
look nice and brown.
Yes.
They're nice and firm on top. And they've been in there probably about 17 minutes. So they're done. And we're going to let them cool for just a few minutes, then we can just pop them right out.
Yeah.
You can see where they're browned on the sides, and again, they're firm on top too. Now these obviously exceeded the boundaries of our jars, so we're just gonna use a knife, and these are still very hot. But you wanna cut them off while they're warm.
You might need to cut down a little bit into it, yeah, because there might not be enough space to The muffin tops, the best part, right
They
there.
are. They really
And
are.
we will eat them, not to worry, as you can too.
Yes,
Need a
so
little
go
more
ahead
space
and
in
make
there.
sure these are clean around the sides. I'm not doing a great job because they're still hot.
But we gotta put the lids on them while they're still hot to can them.
Yeah.
So that's why we're kind of fooling with them now. Muffin tops.
I'm making a mess. So
Yes. Hopefully you won't.
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And we have some new canning jar lids.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the lid.
Lid.
And the
Here's
ring.
the ring. Put those together.
Use your pot holder.
Mm-hmm. And just tighten, just to finger tightness.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in just a little while, as they cool, you're going to hear the lids pop.
Mhm.
And that's
And-
how you know they've sealed.
And then you label them, put them in your cupboard,
Mm-hmm.
and
This one,
instant.
I don't think, now, see if you can do a close up here. See how there's a lot of muffin mix stuck on here?
Mhm.
You can either scrape that all off or just not can it, because the seal right here, this rubber, has to have a clean surface to seal well. So I'm not actually gonna can that one. These two were clean enough to do. So anyway, those are our muffins. They were delicious. We already tested one, obviously. So just have fun with it, guys.